like this. However, just like I gave you guys the science of vortexes, there is a science behind rear entry. That's one of the reasons why they promote it so cold. And, you know, some people are gay. If you're grown and the person you're dealing with is also grown, you decide and you agree, that's your business. And don't people that keep calling me, asking me, so what do you think about New York passing this gay marriage law? I'm going to tell y'all now so you don't have to keep calling and asking me. I don't give a shit. Excuse my language. I don't care. I'm not about to marry a woman. I'm not going to ask no woman to marry me. Therefore, it's not my business. I'm not concerned what other grown people do with their business. It's not for me to make a determination on them. I could care less. It's not my problem. I'm going to say this, however, for individuals who are grown and you consent to be in a situation and the person you're dealing with is grown and they consent to be in a situation, whether they're same sex or opposite sex, is irrelevant. I start having problems with people when you're screwing around with animals that can't give you consent, when you're screwing around with children that can't give you consent, or when you're screwing around with somebody that you got them on some date rape drug, they're drunk, they're unconscious, they're passed out, they don't even know what's happening to them. I have a problem with people like that. And you guys need to die. I'm sorry, y'all need to be lined up and shot. I don't care what you look like, what color you are, what gender you are, what age you are. If you're trespassing on other persons, then I have a problem with you. But as far as the science of this rear entry, let me say this. When you participate in rear entry, what you don't comprehend is what that causes scientifically. It can cause, it doesn't happen in every single case, but it tends to cause the kundalini to spiral down. It causes the spiral in reverse and get your ass locked to the planet where you can't get the hell up out of here. Now, you need to be getting your kundalini to spiral up. Now, the sounds that you're doing, the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, si sounds, if you're doing them the way I say, it should start the process of getting, for those of you that have gotten your kundalini spiraling downward, to start rising back up in the proper direction. If you intend to continue with your lifestyle choice and your behavior, which I'm not knocking your behavior, I'm not beating you up, I'm telling you scientifically what you need to know about this rear entry thing and what it does. Not only that, the males need to understand about all the swimming life forms in the anal canal. There are things in the anal canal that would scare the shit out of you if you saw those things. They are alive, and they are swimming around. Some of them look like snakes. Some of them look like worms. Some of them are as big and long as earthworms. Some of them are bigger. Some of them are in their infant form. And these things will swim up your phallus, up your penis, and cause major problems for you, my brothers. And a lot of y'all don't even have the sense enough to put boots on when you're wading in these waters. Nor have many of you that partake in this practice bothered for you and your partner to periodically go and find a reputable, because you can't let anybody touch you here, go and find a reputable individual that can do, what is the word I'm looking for when you get these professional enemas? The word, I had the word on my head, and I just slipped out of my brain. If you can find someone, which they make it illegal in most states for people to use ozone, if you can find somebody that's using ozone, that's even better, to kill these worms. There are tapeworms in there. And some of these tapeworms grow inside the human body long enough, longer than if you were to lay it out and stretch it out. If anybody's ever been swimming in a 10-foot deep end of a swimming pool, some of the tapeworms that are inside people's bodies are longer than the deep end of a swimming pool. Some of them are as long as 2-story buildings inside of people's rear ends. Some of these things are bigger than you want to know. Some of these things get longer than a man's 12-inch foot. And if you're going to partake in a thing, understand the science behind it. Take every precaution required. You need to get these, and dang, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you guys know what I'm looking for when you go and you get a professional to give you an enema. And if you sit there, you and your partner, and watch the stuff that comes out swimming that came out of the backside of somebody, that swims up your penis tip, know this. Now, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm just saying get clue on the science behind the thing. Now, enough of that. I didn't mean to beat everybody up, but I can't take it. I can't help it. Seriously. colonics. Thank you, brother in Alabama. I appreciate that email. The brother said colonic. If you're going to participate in this stuff, one, do your colonics every now and then, preferably with ozone if you can find anybody doing it. In most countries, they're making that illegal because they want you stuck here with them. They want you stuck. They don't want you to get out of here. That's why it's okay to put a woman's naked rear end up in a penitentiary cell, but you can't have her naked boobs up. You can't have her front end showing at all, only her backside. There's a reason why these people do to you the things that they do, and it's not just you, it's everybody. They don't want anybody to evolve. They want to misrule over everybody. All I'm saying is understand what's going on. And I know there are straight couples that participate in this behavior, just like there are people that are into the same gender thing that participate in this behavior. And that's fine if that's your thing, but understand the science behind the things that you do and take the necessary precautions. Now, having said all that, someone was calling me to try to get clarity on which Myra I was talking about as far as the astrologer. I was talking about C-Star Myra Moss. That's the astrologer I was talking about, not the sister in New York. I'm talking about the sister in North Carolina. Another, I'm just shooting from the head now, another sister that is a scholar is Dr. Suzar. And everybody thought for decades that Suzar was a dude. And she just let everybody think that because, most people can't accept information coming from females. They don't want to hear it. And I think her website is Suzar.com, which is spelled S like Sam, U, Z like Zebra, A-R. On the health tip, you got brothers Dr. Goss in Southern California. I think he has a compound in Arizona, I think. But he's got a store based in Compton. Then you have, and I think the feds came after him at one point. Then you have brother Dr. Sabi, another brother on health. These are two brothers that are oh, by the way, Suzar is a master of a scholar on the history of things and breaking down words also, whereas Sabi, Dr. Sabi, S-A-B like boy, E, and Dr. Goss, they're nutritionists and herbalists, and I don't want to call them healers because I don't want to get them in trouble with anybody, but they can help you to help heal yourself. Another master, and, I was really trying to get his consent to mention him, and I don't want to mention him, but I kind of got to because in my personal opinion, he is the best naturopath doctor on this planet. That's just an opinion. And opinions are like a-holes. Everybody got one. That's mine. And I say that because this brother has a system, and he calls it the system, that if the whole world were allowed to use his system, I think nobody would have any kind of problems of any kind, not health problems, not mental problems, not emotional problems. And that brother's name is Dr. John. Dr. John. Now, he's an artist. I forget what his website is called. What he has a bunch of supplements, but more powerful than his supplements is his system. And Dr. John will go anywhere in the world and show people how to do his system. It takes approximately 3 days. I don't know if he's still doing that. Fortunately for me, me and everybody close to me, because you know me, if you're close to me, you're going to know what you need to know. That's why I admire those of you that make it your business to call and stay in touch. And they tell me, Yaffa, whatever you, don't leave me out. Just remember me. I will remember you. But especially if I talk to you more than once. If once I talk to you 3 times, then you go in my cell phone in my cell phone address book. If I talk to you 3 times, your number's in my cell phone. If I talk to you once or twice, you're on the Magic Jack, and that's just it, and that's all. However, Dr. John, he will go anywhere in the world. If you can get a minimum number of people, I think it's, I don't know, when we did it some years ago, it was maybe 20 people at $250 each. It may be the same number of people at $350 now. I'm not sure, or $400 now. He will teach this system to anybody that wants to know, you know, and it's worth it. It's worth it. Now, I'm not going to put his last name on the air. My bad. I'm sorry. Because the reason I'm saying that is his system is so powerful, I don't want anybody targeting this brother. I just don't. Now, even if you did, you ain't doing nothing, because Dr. John has taught this system to so many people. Anybody he's taught it to can teach it to somebody else, even though they probably don't have any authority to do so. I'm saying that to say. So if you want his information, you're going to have to get at me. It's not my number. You can call me at 213-928-6155. And like Dr. John said, Sister Yaffa, if there is a name for the thing, if you can come up with a word for this thing, there's a way to stop it. There's a way to fix it and cure it. I don't care what it is. If there's a word for it and you got 25 hours, Dr. John can help you. I don't care what your problem is. Now, I've mentioned the brother before, Bobby Hemmett, you know, for people that are into the so-called metaphysics, magic, that kind of thing. But I shouldn't have to mention people that I've mentioned before. You guys have heard me mention him before, and his what do I call it? Total recall. You know, Bobby Hemmett can sit up and go, "Oh yeah, that was a book called such and such and such by so and so on page so and so." Brother cracks me up with that stuff. It's like, wow, now that's deep. But you know, you guys need to know about that. And then there's another brother who has a lot of historical information in his document. I consider him a scholar. He has a document out called The Moorish Paradigm. His name is Hakeem Bey. Now, there are people out there to beat the brother up, just like they beat up a lot of Moors, period. You know, you can do what you want to do. Like I said, take what you can use from people and discard the rest. Hakeem Bey is a wealth of information in the Moorish Paradigm, and I think his name is spelled Hakim, Bey, B-E-Y. Now, someone was asking me recently what I knew about the brothers of Marakush. I'm probably saying that wrong. Murakush, something to this effect. I don't know a lot about those brothers. I have not ever gone to their website. I have not ever watched a video of the Moors in court, even though I've heard about them. I didn't even until, within the last 3 to 5 days, I didn't even realize they were the same brothers as the brothers that set up, what's the website? Aboriginal Law Firm. But those brothers are scholars when it comes to court, based on what I'm gathering and what I peeped. Because I hear between the lines, they're pretty much scholars on what's going on in court. And there are wins and there are losses, but so what? At least they're trying. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to figure this out until somebody gets out and does something. We all have to do something. Because I'm going to say it again. Either you are a part of the solution or you are the problem. You are not a part of the problem. If you're doing nothing to solve this mess, you are the problem. That's it and that's all. Now, having said all that, I wanted to bring a sister on, but she's extremely exhausted because a lot of people are not aware that there's a country where the leader of the country He pays for his citizens' education